Richard Gordon is Research Vice President at Gartner, joins me in the studio now. Richard, good to have you with us. So just give us an idea of how much of a shortage, tell us more about how much of a shortage we will have in hard drive production as a result of these floods in Thailand.
Well, the shortage began in the fourth quarter of last year. We think it'll continue through the first and second quarters of this year, so the first half of this year. And as I say, as you mentioned in your intro, about 25% reduction in overall hard drive production over that period. So you're talking about tens of millions of units fewer in the market than we would normally expect.
Which companies will be hardest hit by that?
Well, there's a kind of a hierarchy, if you like. You know, at the top of the chain, you've got the large PC OEMs. They'll be relatively immune. You know, those guys tend to have their supply chains more protected. As you go down to second and third tier, you know, into distribution and those kind of areas, and into other equipment that uses hard drives like consumer electronics and so on, those guys are more affected. So there's no company completely immune, but obviously the large PC OEMs are in a better position.
So what does this mean then for the prices of computer hard drives?
Well, we've seen, again, you have to kind of look at the strategic accounts. They'll see not quite such a price hike. In the second and third tier, in the distribution channels, you'll see more of a price hike there. So, you know, prices have gone up, but the strategic accounts, the price increases are more limited.
So, I mean, if we're seeing prices go up at electronics stores, does it stand to reason that consumers are likely to suffer more than corporations?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that goes without saying. And so, talk to me a little bit then about how companies are likely to respond to soaring costs of hard drives, because obviously that is something that could weigh on earnings going forward. So how are they going to counter that, if you like? Presumably they are making some sort of contingency plan.
Well, for the large PC companies, they'll try and lose some of that price increase if they see a price increase in drives. They'll lose it elsewhere in the system, so they might take it out of DRAM, for example, or for processors or for software and so on. So, and of course they may take the hit themselves on margins as well. So, you know, I doubt they'll pass on much of it to the end customer.
But then what happens if the Thai floods, what if this is a protracted issue that lasts for, say, another couple of quarters? Will manufacturers outside of Thailand make up for the shortfall? Are we seeing signs of that already?
Well, I think, you know, as time goes on through this year, the situation is going to gradually improve. I mean, we've had the catastrophic events of last year. You know, obviously the production plans are being made to bring it back up, you know, whether that's moving production to different facilities and so on and so forth. So we think by the third quarter this year, things will be, you know, back to more or less normal.
To get the picture for IT spending with you, Richard Gordon, Research Vice President at Gartner. Thank you.
Thank you.